Something is happening behind the scenes that most fans aren't seeing, at least, not yet. What seems like just another round of off-season workouts is quietly becoming the stage for a major shift. Some voices are getting louder, others eerily quiet. There's a new energy on the field, faster, sharper, more intense. And while it's all technically optional, the impact of who's showing up and how they're showing up is anything but. If you think the starting spots are already set, think again. There are players making waves, earning unexpected accolades, taking on reps no one anticipated they'd get so soon. Meanwhile, others once seen as key players are suddenly surrounded by question marks. The scales are tipping. The competition is heating up, and those who thought they had time may find that time is exactly what they ran out of. Be sure to hit that like button and follow along as I tell you all about it. He's not even supposed to be the starter this year, and yet, Michael Penix Jr. is already commanding the huddle like he's been in the league for 5 seasons. This isn't just a feel-good OTA storyline. No, this is the beginning of a power shift in Atlanta, a glimpse of what could be the most intriguing quarterback development arc we've seen in years. Fans, if you're not paying attention now, you will be, because the torch is slowly, surely, and maybe unexpectedly being handed over. Let's get straight into it. Michael Penix Jr., the Falcons' QB1 for 2025, has been lighting up OTA sessions, not just with his arm, but with his voice. Head coach Raheem Morris didn't mince words. He sees a quarterback who's not only gaining confidence, but doing so with intent, maturity, and a daily grind that stands out. There's a certain humility, Morris said, and then it becomes a certain confidence. He praised Penix's conscientious approach, his daily growth, his ability to communicate not only with the offense but with every unit of the team. Leadership is hard to teach, but it's in Penix's DNA. We saw glimpses of it in Washington. But now, he's evolving under the lights of Flowery Branch, showing signs of someone ready to run the show. His reps this offseason aren't just filler, they're foundational. This is his first year going through OTAs as the starter, and that chemistry he's building with his receivers, that rhythm he's creating with the offense, it's priceless. Every snap, every debrief, every correction, it's accelerating his journey toward becoming the true face of the Falcons. But where there's light, there's also shadow. Troy Anderson, the once promising linebacker, finds himself sliding down the depth chart, not because of lack of talent, but because of absence. Yes, these are voluntary workouts, but presence matters, especially when opportunity knocks for others. Divine Deablo, recently added to the roster, has been making waves. Breaking up a Michael Penix pass intended for Drake London? That's a statement. And statements matter in May, because they echo into August. The phrase is cliché, but accurate. Availability is the best ability. And right now, Deablo has it. Anderson doesn't. Coming off a series of injuries, a shoulder in 2023, knee issues previously, it's a tough road. But in the world of NFL rosters, sentiment doesn't hold jobs. Performance does. If Deablo continues stacking good days, the job could very well be his. And for Anderson, time might be running out faster than anyone expected. Now let's shift gears, but stay on defense. The name Bralin Trice needs to be on every fan's radar. Why? Because while he isn't fully back yet from his ACL tear, everything coming out of Flowery Branch indicates he's close, and when he returns, he's expected to make a big impact. Raheem Morris was careful with his words, but the optimism was unmistakable. Trice is already doing running drills, working with the physical therapy team, and eyeing training camp as a full-go return. That's huge. Here's why it's important. Trice isn't just another body on the depth chart. He's a high-ceiling defender who can disrupt backfields and energize the pass rush. And while it might seem contradictory to call Anderson's absence a concern, but Trice is a positive, context is key. Anderson is expected to be competing now. Trice is still recovering from a serious injury and on pace to return at the perfect time. That's why the coaches are excited. That's why you should be too. And it's not just Trice. 2 rookies, Jalen Walker and Billy Bowman Jr., are already getting reps with the starters. Think about that. In a league where rookies usually start on the sideline, these 2 are jumping into the fire. It speaks volumes about the confidence the coaching staff has in them. And with every OTA snap, they're earning trust and building momentum. This defense? It's getting younger, faster, hungrier. And that's exactly what Atlanta needs to compete in a loaded NFC South. Because while the division is unpredictable, it's also ripe for the taking. Now, before we wrap up this first half of the story, let's talk about a name that you didn't expect to hear here, Kirk Cousins. The veteran QB finds himself listed among the losers of OTAs, not because of his performance, but because of the bigger picture. The future is coming fast. And for Cousins, the question isn't whether he'll be the guy, it's whether he'll even have a seat at the table. With teams like the Steelers and Saints possibly keeping tabs, his next move could come down to injuries elsewhere. But at Atlanta? That ship may have already sailed. So Falcons fans, what do you think so far? Is Michael Penix Jr. truly the future? Will Divine Deablo take over that linebacker spot? Is Bralin Trice the secret weapon no one's talking about yet? Drop your thoughts in the comments. What's unfolding in Flowery Branch isn't just your typical OTA buzz. This is the kind of groundwork that sets the tone for an entire season. And right now, it's becoming clearer by the day who's rising, who's falling, and who might just surprise everyone. Now, it's time to revisit the rookies, specifically Jalen Walker and Billy Bowman Jr. What makes their early involvement with the first team so significant? Well, it's more than just talent. It's about trust. For a coaching staff to hand first-team reps to two rookies this early says a lot. It says they aren't just seeing flashes, they're seeing consistency, discipline, and NFL readiness. Walker, with his explosive range and physicality, looks like he belongs. Bowman Jr., bringing versatility in the secondary, offers flexibility the defense desperately needs. This is a franchise that has made some gutsy moves in the draft, and now, those gambles are beginning to show promise. When you've got rookies showing they can swim with the vets, that's when a team starts building real depth, and depth is the difference between a good season and a playoff run. And speaking of difference makers, let's go back to Bralin Trice for a moment. You know the type of player who changes the tone of a defense, not just through sacks or tackles, but through sheer presence? That's what the coaching staff is projecting in Trice. If he hits full strength by training camp and finds his rhythm early in the season, you could be looking at one of the breakout defenders in the entire NFC. Now, we need to circle back to the quarterback room, because as much as we're watching Michael Penix Jr. with anticipation, the story around Kirk Cousins just keeps evolving. It's becoming more evident, this might not just be Penix's team in the future, it might already be shifting into his hands. Cousins, recovering from injury, finds himself caught in a tricky spot. There are rumors, Pittsburgh, New Orleans, and other quarterback-needy teams, but no clear landing spot. And more importantly, there's no longer a clear role for him in Atlanta. That's not a knock on his skill set or resume. It's simply a reflection of the direction this team is heading, toward youth, speed, and long-term vision. It's why these OTAs feel different. It's not just about install and reps, it's about transition. From veterans to youth. From expectations to execution. From potential to performance. So here's the question we want to hear from you. Which of these rookies are you most excited about, Walker, Bowman Jr., or Trice? And do you think this is truly the beginning of the Michael Penix Jr. era in Atlanta? Let us know in the comments. Your take might just end up in our next video. And if you're enjoying this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more exclusive updates on your Atlanta Falcons. Go Falcons!